Ladies and gentlemen, big show today. I'm really excited about our upcoming guest, who I will mention here in a little bit. First off, we're on YouTube, Wesam's World. Subscribe there, because it's not just podcast videos. It's other videos, behind the scenes, me playing scary games, possible pranks, beef videos. We're also on iTunes. Leave us a review, 5-star preferably. We're also on Spotify. We got that out of the way. We're drinking some Jocko drink right now, which is so good. I'm all fired up. I'm all caffeinated. Our guest today is a hilarious comedian, great podcast host, community service, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the great... I don't know why I'm pausing so much, Peyton, because I'm so caffeinated. I'm like trying to catch my breath.
Yeah, your pauses are scaring me, bro. Just say my name already, man. Jesus Christ. There's a lot of buildup.
Craig Conant.
Oh, hello. How are you?
All right.
That's my camera?
Both of them are. We just talked to each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, you're just filming him the whole time? That's fucked up, man. Get us both. That would be so funny if you just had a guest and it was just you. It's like, hey, man.
Dude. I was thinking about, like, if you came on today and I just acted like a complete psycho, like for no reason.
No, I don't like that.
That would be so weird.
That would be.
Do you ever have that, like the side of your brain that says do something like the normal society way, and then the other side is like, what if I was just a crazy person right now and just would just go
Yeah,
off?
all the time. I mean, who doesn't want to crash into parked cars and end it? Hey, check out Jocko. It's good for you. Wow. No, yeah. I mean, we all go there sometimes, but
yeah.
You know, the key is to get weapons. No, it's just a sliver of thought, and if you say you don't have those dark thoughts, get the fuck out of here. We all do. It's just don't live in it, and you know, there's good, the yin and the yang, man. There's the beach and there's the fires.
I know.
There's both, and always. So just go to the good side. It gets a little dark down there. Oh, woo.
Dude, the smoke today is bad here.
It's so bad everywhere, but it's especially bad here. I drove over to the hill, and I was like, oh my God, because it just sits.
Oh, yeah, you're in West Hollywood. So
Yeah.
how is it over there? Is it smoky like this?
It's absolutely smoky, but not as smoky as this. Like, ours is like the wind blew smoke. This is like, are we in a campfire? We're in a campfire.
Yeah.
It's fucking gnarly. There's just smoke everywhere.
You did a live show recently, right?
Last night, yeah.
How'd it go?
It was so good.
Felt good to be back on
It
stage.
was a car show, drive-in comedy, which is very, very weird, and I've done a bunch of them, and sometimes they're fucking wonky, but last night was probably the best car show I've ever done, if you could. It's a weird sentence to say. It was fucking good, man.
Awesome.
It's so crazy because, like, you're performing the vehicles. Last night on the lineup was Fortune, Feimster, Jay Farrell, Bill Burr.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? And we're all performing the cars. It's so surreal.
My gosh.
And it's a rare moment where I get to be like, okay, Jay Farrell, here's what to expect. You know, because he's never done a car show before. It was his first time on stage last night in 6 months, and he fucking killed it.
Wow.
Same thing with Fortune. Bill had done a couple car shows before, but I had done one prior to him, so then it was the same thing. I was like, here's how. It's just a weird feeling. I'm like, you know, not new booty comic, but, you know, just compared to them, for sure. And then I'm like, okay, so when they honk, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? It's so weird and cool and surreal is the only way I can.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I don't know Fortune.
Oh, she's the best.
I'll have to check her out.
She's so funny.
I am a huge Bill Burr fan.
Oh, he's the best, dude.
I was lucky enough to see him live like a couple months or a few months before the lockdown.
Yeah.
And it was like a little charity benefit at the Laugh Factory, or I forget where. Anyway, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's a black belt in comedy.
Oh,
for
dude, him and Dave
sure.
Chappelle are the best comedians on this planet alive right now. The greatest comedians alive are Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle.
His Black and White special on Netflix.
So good.
Get
I
outta
just lived. I don't live at the comic, but before when it was open, I used to just hang out at the comic store, 4 or 5 nights a week, and he would just pop in, and I would literally follow him from room to room to room and just watch his set.
Yeah.
and see him change his shit and tweak it, and it came out different every time. And then watch him work his special, and then see his special on Netflix. I'd be like, oh, I like the one you did in the belly room better, or whatever. It's just he's the man, dude.
That's really cool. That's really fortunate that you get to watch these masters at their crafts.
Yeah.
And then, do you pick up little things? Do you go, oh, that's a little cool little like comedy trick. I'll try that because I do that with actors, and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah. You don't, of course, take their material, but you
Right.
go, oh, I see what you did there. Oh, you did this with that topic. I can do this with my family bit, and you do learn. And same thing with Dave Chappelle. I would just follow any major big drop-ins like that because I'd like to see them work different rooms.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a hot room. Oh, this is a dead room. Let's see what they do and see those tricks. So like, oh, okay, this room's is dead, so they have to do it differently, and you just sorry. And it's fun, dude.
Oh man, even though we're in a shitty time right now for a lot of people, I really have been counting my blessings and trying to enjoy life as much as possible from as positive but realistic perspective as much as I can. And one of the things is this show that I do, this podcast, and just bringing on people like you. I've never met you before.
I know.
And so
nice to meet you, bro.
Craig.
Nice
to It's just cool to me to
It
sit
is.
down with somebody I think is cool, get to talk to them for a bit, and then get to share that with people. That's
It's
it.
true, though. What you just said, I've been quoting my homie Brian Simpson. He's fucking phenomenal comic, but he did a tweet where he goes, people ask me how I'm doing. He goes, I'm pandemic good. And that's how I feel we are. Like, we're pandemic good. Like, we're not great because there's a fucking pandemic, but we're good, and I like to be real and be like, my life is actually really good right now, even though the world kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You got to be real, but positive, but real at the same time.
Yeah.
And it is true. It's like you have this show, I have my show, and then we just hustle and we do what we can with what we can.
Absolutely. How's your show going? Community service.
It's going, man. Yeah. It's pandemic good, dude.
I
Yeah.
just checked out a few episodes of it because I didn't even know you had a podcast.
Thank
which is
you.
like,
Yeah. That's my marketing team. I need to get on. You know who my marketing team is? Me.
That's a whole job. That's why I have somebody doing that.
Dude, it's people don't understand. I still haven't posted Justin Hoff's clip. I don't know how. Dude, you know what? We'll be honest here. I was an hour late to this because I forgot. I'm sorry. But when life is normal and you're working and you have a schedule and you're hustling and bustling, I'm not late to shit. But when there's nothing going on, you're just used to nothing going on. So you're like, oh, I don't have anything. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I do. And you fuck up. I'm been late to more shit during the pandemic than when I was extremely busy before the pandemic. And that's so weird to me.
It's not weird. It's happened to me for this show. How many times, Peyton, have I come in late to this already?
Oh, it's every episode.
Usually I'm here for...
forget.
Yeah, seriously.
And I hate that. Usually I'm early. Like if I'm on before, fuck. Anyways, set reminders, everybody. Alarms are good. They're your friend.
I was like, because I think it's happened to us once before with a guest that shall remain nameless. That was probably our worst guest of all time on this show. And I'll tell you who it is at the break.
Nice.
I mean, stuck up, entitled. I'll tell you the details later. And I was like, oh, man, this is weird. Craig, I definitely confirmed with Craig. He seems like a nice guy.
I fucked up.
He's either dead or he just totally forgot.
I
And
forgot. I got no excuse other than oopsie. That's my excuse.
No,
I
that's
was
not good, man.
fucking pooping and I read your DM. I was like, oh, I called you on the shitter, bro. I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm on my way. 22 minutes. 22. Yeah, dude. Whoopsie.
How's the West Hollywood life? You like that area?
It's good. I fucking love WeHo.
Yeah?
I grew up in the South Bay, Los Angeles, Torrance, Redondo Beach, born and raised.
Okay.
Born in Harbor City. Went to school in Torrance. It's South Bay. A little bit of the hood, a little bit of the beach. That's
Gotcha.
where I grew up. And then, yeah, it's the shit down there, but I never, when you grow up in the South Bay near the ocean, I was like 2 miles from the ocean, you know?
Yeah.
You could ride your bike there, drive there in 5
sweet.
minutes. So I never understood the city. I was like, what the fuck am I going there for? The beach is here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like traffic or the ocean. You know. So I literally went to Hollywood like twice in my life by 25. I was just like, why? But then I discovered stand up in that world. Mm-hmm. And then my whole point is I never thought I would be a city boy, and now I fucking love it. I love it. That's like, I love WeHo. I love Hollywood. I used to live on the East Hollywood. It's a little dirty, a little sketchy over there. You got to go to Boys Town. They keep it clean, man. It's good. It's good. And yeah, I'm a fucking but now that there's a pandemic, it's like why am I paying crazy rent or whatever? I actually have good rent. I got lucky. But, you know, like everything in Hollywood is always more. The eggs are more. The falafel's more. I hate falafel. I don't know why I said that.
What?
I don't hate it. It's just like I'd rather have like a spicy chicken pita.
All right, that's fair.
Get that fucking fufu out of here, fucking falafel.
We're on the same page. Whenever I'm working, like on set, or I'm going back and forth from a studio, that's when I love living in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I cannot stand living in Los Angeles. I'm one of those nature guys. Put me somewhere in nature, in the woods, in the mountains, and I'm happy. Too many people for my liking. I live down the road in NoHo, so it's just not for me.
No, yeah. When the world is open and it's hustling and bustling and it's normal, it's awesome because you're just like bing, bing, boom. You're doing the clubs. When everything's shut down, you're just like, all right, it's just there's a lot of dog shit and piss over here. You know what I mean? Yeah. WeHo's is dog shit and dog piss. East Hollywood is human shit and human piss. The beach is clean. It's the beach.
Is Venice clean?
Maybe not. You're right. You got me there. It's a little fresher.
Dude, whenever my youngest brother, Daniel, he would want to come up here, he's like, let's go to Venice. And I'm like, you and my other brother can go to Venice. I don't want to hang out in Venice. They love hanging out down there.
I love it. It's a little sketchy. It's just a wee bit sketchy. Just a wee bit of speed freaks over there.
Fuck, man, there's so many homeless people now. I don't know how to fix it. We talked about this with Reno Wilson last week, and we're just like, how do you fix all the homeless people?
I'll tell you how.
Okay.
I don't know. No, okay. There's so much shit that could be put into place. First of all, drug rehab centers by the thousands. We need as many of those as possible. Mental illness areas, work for shelter program, farms. Like, there's so many different categories. A lot of them are schizophrenic and they need the fucking asylum. A lot of them are drug addicts and they need rehab, but a lot of them are just down and out and need work. And why not have like a farm or you know what I mean? Like that one priest did it with Homeboys industry where he made food for criminals, ex-cons.
Oh, that's cool.
So they get out of prison, they got a job, they make a living.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and then everyone wants to buy that shit. It's like, oh, this guy's not doing crime anymore. He's making tortilla chips or whatever, and bread and salsas and hummuses or whatever the fuck. Just have shit like that, and it's not gonna completely eradicate the problem, but it'll fucking put a chunk in it because this shit is gnarly, dude.
Yeah, it's bad. I feel bad for people.
Yeah,
like really, really bad for people.
It's hard because it's just like you'll be feeling good. Wow, a podcast going in. You look and it's just Tent City. You're like, oh fuck.
Oh yeah.
And then like even sure you go help them. You give them food, clothes, money. It's just like that's just a Band-Aid.
I worked on a show where I played a lawyer, like a public defender, and so we got to shadow real public defenders. And the public defender I shadowed was like, yeah, about 70% of my clients have mental illness and are homeless. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? That's an insane number. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I actually learned this through stand-up comedy. It was Ronald Wilson Reagan that fucked it up. He shut down the public mental institutions. And I learned that through Bobcat Goldthwait, not through any history book, through a comedian, I love him, dude. I've watched him, Police Academy. So good. Anyways, he shut down the fucking mental.
Why would he do that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's between him and whoever was pulling his strings. But, you know, now there's only private, which is very expensive.
Yes.
Or just mental wards in hospitals, and they're not equipped. Just a little, you know.
You know a lot about it seems like.
No, just what Bobcat Goldthwait. And then I even like Googled it. I was like, because I was like, wait a minute. And then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It did happen.
Oh, well, by the way, congrats being sober for a while, correct?
Thank you. Yeah, 7 years.
That's amazing, man.
It's crazy.
I'm so thrilled for you.
I'll be back. Yeah, 7 years, August 10th. Wow. I never thought that was going to happen, but you know.
Do you know how much discipline and pure willpower that takes? And I know you don't know me that well, but I'm all about like discipline and making goals and doing that kind of stuff. And I fucking love hearing stories like that because it's so motivating and it makes me want to have more willpower in my life because I hate things that have control over me or things that I feel have control over me.
Oh, they had control. Oh boy. Yeah, enough was enough, you know. I was just a fucking loser living at home with my mom with no money, just strung out, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I got arrested for the third time, and I was like, all right.
Fuck.
Yeah, I had 4 charges, and I threw firecrackers at police officers on horses in Hermosa Beach. It's a bit, but it's a true story as well. And then I was like, I'm fucking done, dude. I was like, I gotta get sober and I gotta go do stand up. My homie Brian Granger at Trader Joe's was like, he always was bugging me. He's like, yo, you're nuts, dude. You gotta go do stand up. You're funny, because he is a comic. And then I was like, oh, I always wanted to. Yeah. And he bugged me for a long time. I don't even remember, 6 months to a year. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then that arrest, I was just like, fuck, you know. I was like, all right, I'm done. I was like, I need to get sober and get into stand up. And I did. It was a process. It took a long time because, you know, it's hard to get into stand up. It's hard to get sober.
Yeah.
About 3-4 years later, I finally was 100% sober and 100% into stand up.
That's amazing. Did you have a good support system, like a community around you to help you out with that? Or was it purely
No.
You're like, no.
To quit narcotics, I straight up drank wine and smoked weed. And then when I finally quit alcohol and weed, by the way, what's that called? PSA, weed saved my life from narcotics. Even though I don't smoke weed anymore, I think I don't mind it. Like, people are like, you're sober, you're against weed. No, but I'm against it because for me, it just consumed me and I would get nothing done. But I am acknowledging it saved my life from Oxycontin and Coke and whatnot. Yeah. Anyways, after I quit alcohol, I did have a lot of friends that took me to meetings, the 12-step programs. And so, yes, I did have support.
Nice. Peyton just gave the 2-minute warning. He's not just giving you like, that's cool, man. Craig's like, okay, what the fuck? All right, thanks, man. I was in the middle of something, but that's fine.
He said 2-minute warning. I was like, peace, bro. Oh, shit, man. But yeah, sobriety, you know, I used to hate people that preached it at me. But I have a good feeling a healthy chunk of this world could do some good from sobriety. Boom. Some people are normal and they could just be occasional drinkers, smokers, partiers, druggies, whatever. I was not that case, and I have a feeling there's a lot of kids out there that are not that case.
Oh yeah, I get it. I get why people that whenever I got tipsy for the first time I was drinking wine, and then as soon as it hit me, I was like, oh, this is why people like this.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, I see why people get addicted to this part of it. Oh, okay, this isn't so bad.
Yeah.
But then, like, you keep drinking, and then the spins happened to me for the first time. I was like, oh no, this isn't good.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. Oh, this is not good at all. I could see now where people kind of snowball further and further.
I just like to get fucked up, you know.
We gotta take a quick break, but then we'll be back with more stories. Do you go on TikTok?
I've been on like once, twice. I reserved my name and I did one post. I need to. I'm doing myself a disservice. I realize.
Well, last week on the show, we had a whole segment of TikTokers doing Holocaust TikToks.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hold on.
That's why I don't go on it.
They wanted to bring awareness to the Holocaust by, guess what?
Reenacting the Holocaust.
Almost pretending they were Holocaust victims in heaven, being asked, why do you look like that? And they would look like they haven't eaten and like putting on makeup. And
what is wrong with people?
and guess what? This week we found even another level of it. People wanted to bring awareness to 9/11.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So they dressed up like 9/11 victims.
You want to know something really dumb that I did? I was on Instagram.
Okay.
And I was like, why is everyone posting about 9/11? And I got real sad. I was like, oh, fuck. And then I realized it was 9/11. I was like, oh, my God. That's how I'm out. What's a day anymore? I didn't know today's Saturday. There's just smoke. The sun's gone. The world's dying. Yeah. What a dark day, huh? Anyways.
I almost ate some bad spinach because I didn't know the number day it was.
Yeah.
I really didn't know. It had been in my fridge for way too long. I will never finish a bag of spinach ever in my life.
No.
Ever.
I fucking hate spinach. I buy it because I know it's good for me, and I'm just like, whoa.
You know how I eat it now?
I put it in smoothies. That's the only way I get it done.
Oh, I don't even do that because I don't want to set up the fucking smoothie machine. I literally grab a handful of spinach and eat it like my life depends on it. And that's it. I'm like, great, now I can eat my burger.
Oh, I know what you mean, though. You gotta even it out. I'll still eat the cheeseburger, but you gotta eat some roughage.
Oh, yeah.
You got to.
Why? Oh, Craig, why do burgers taste so good?
I don't know. I don't know if I could ever give them up. I know the way we do meat is bad. It's just like gross, mass produced. If it was just straight back in the day farming like it used to be, small mom and pops, I would not feel this guilty about it. We're gross. Yeah. You've seen the videos. You know it's bad. I still eat cheeseburgers at the same time, but there's a little taint to it. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Did you see that one video of the people, the PETA people who try to go to the duck farm to try to stop them from slaughtering the ducks, and they have these little conveyor belts where they get chained onto. So the guys decided to chain themselves with these collars to the conveyor belt, and they couldn't turn it off. So this one guy is almost getting choked to death while he's going through the conveyor belt. And dude, you could see it. I'm sorry.
Did he die?
No, you can see it.
What if you just said he got his head chopped off?
Okay, I really don't want to do this anymore.
I fucked up. I get your protest, but that's a put a mannequin in there. Put a robot. Yeah, our systematic slaughtering system, it's just so corporatized and just it's fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's sad because you could see like some of the animals, like they know something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, they know.
I don't know. I wish everybody could.
But have you had In-N-Out? Am I right?
In-N-Out's so good. So good. In-N-Out's so good. I've been going to Urban Skillet too. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I haven't had that.
Oh, dude.
Oh no.
It's so good. You like sushi?
I love sushi.
Oh my gosh.
I love all meat. That's the problem. I know I need to drastically reduce my intake of it. It is not good for you in the volume that we eat it. Back in the day when we were just hunter gatherers and farmers, it was like a treat. It was like a once a week you had a steak. Now we can have steak every meal, and it's like that's not good.
No. But you look in shape.
I gained a little weight during this quarantine. When I put these jeans on, I was like, oh boy, these fit a little looser.
Yeah.
Before the old quarantine here. Well, thank you.
We all did.
Yeah, I started working out because I did put on 15 pounds. But I was so skinny to begin with. But I'm not. I just, I want to be in shape. I don't want a little cheeseburger belly.
We both
It
got it.
happens, man.
Peyton doesn't gain any weight, and that pisses me off. He's still young, though.
Yeah. I'm comparing No.
They're like, when you hit your 20, well, hit my 20, nothing's happening. I'm convinced. I'm invincible. I can eat anything I want. Nothing's gonna happen.
No, it won't. I know dudes like you, and they've literally like taken weight gainer and they just can't.
You know what I had yesterday? McDonald's.
Yeah.
Ugh. I haven't had a McDonald's in years. I'd rather do In-N-Out. If I'm gonna do a burger, just go to In-N-Out or make your own.
I did dirty rotten McDonald's in Malibu, and it was so good. But it was I've seriously had it like twice in the last 10 years, and one was after watching Super Size Me. I watched that and I was like, I want McDonald's so bad now. And I went and bought a fucking Big Mac and a fries.
My man.
And it was so good.
I know, man.
Thank you, Morgan Spurlock. That guy almost died off McDonald's.
30 days only.
Yeah.
But he ate, 3 times a day?
Oh.
I don't know how he did it, honestly.
He said there was like withdrawals afterwards, like it was a drug.
I think anything you do a pattern of, if you try to break, you're going to have withdrawals.
Yeah.
Anything.
Oh, yeah. Even if it's healthy shit. You're like, I need my spinach.
Working out, if once I get into like a real regimen, if I don't like run or work out on a certain day, I'm like antsy for the whole day. I'm like, why am I feeling like this?
Yeah, I got addicted to working out one period of my life, and it was when I had abs, and it was awesome. And I remember that feeling like of missing working out. And then you just give it some time, it goes away, and you just enjoy life. You do get addicted to it though. I was hanging out with some health nuts. We'd play racquetball and work out like crazy, and I was in shape, man. It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
I wonder why humans are so prone to addictive behavior. Very few people are like, I'm not addicted to anything, and they really aren't.
Yeah, I feel like we're all fucked up and we're all addicted to something, whether it be shopping or fucking antiquing to narcotics. Like you're addicted to something.
Yeah, hoarders.
Oh my god,
bro,
it's insane.
I can only watch the first 10 minutes of every episode before I'm like, I can't anymore.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
I have to watch the whole thing. Why?
It's so satisfying when they clean it up and it's all gone.
You're addicted?
Yep.
I'm addicted to watching people break.
It's so nice when you see their house all clean and it's like, oh, it's beautiful.
It is. It is. Those any extreme makeover or like from house to like people with fucked up whatever cleft lips and they get a surgery and then you're like, and you see the joy. I'm not a big fan of plastic surgery, but obviously, you got some fucking. I remember my sisters would watch Dr. 90210, I believe. I almost said Dr. Oz. And I hated all those shows, but I watched a little bit of each of them because of my 2 older sisters. But one of the episodes, he would go to poor countries and fix gnarly, fucking. I remember like just cleft lip was one, and he'd go to Africa and sew all these lips up and make them look normal. And I was just like, ah! And the kids were so happy, or fucking eyeball surgeries. Like I don't even know. I don't know.
I'm all for that stuff.
Yeah, I love that. But everything else he did, it's like, ooh, your tits are amazing, but you want them to be super duper amazing. You're like, fuck off, asshole. Like, that's different.
That's so freaking weird to me. The women who do, not the regular breast implants, I understand. Like, mentally, I understand that.
Yeah.
It's the addictive nature of those ones where they're like, yeah, they're like this big. Have you seen that chick?
Yes.
They don't even look good.
They just get addicted. They get addicted. I worked at Trader Joe's West Hollywood. You see people change and get addicted to surgery, and you're like, stop it. Some people, of course, a little bit, sure. Go for it. I get it. We live in a superficial society. There's magazines and TV everywhere saying you're this, you're that. You get in your head. But if these motherfuckers I seen with like cheekbone implants where they look like that rock dude from Fantastic Four or whatever.
Oh,
and I'm just like this, like where it startles me. And I'm like, why? Why? Just have bags. Or just a little bit. Just a little bit. You get these fucking things. Looks like fucking the little football just, but It's insane, man. It's just insecurities. It's a business that preys on people's insecurities of little tits or big bellies or baggy eyes. Mild plastic surgery, I'm okay with. That extreme shit, it's just like, and then I get mad at the industry, not the individual, because it's just like they're just preying on somebody that's in their head, is the bottom line.
Yeah, those doctors who are like, hey, this is your 16th nose job.
Yeah.
Can we not, like, you as a doctor should be like, I can't work on your nose anymore because there is no nose.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's a difference, because I know 2 people that have had nose surgeries because they had the fucking hook nose.
Okay.
But they couldn't breathe, and they had, what's it called?
Oh.
Fuck, I forgot what it's called, but it's called something. Anyways, they did it for 2 reasons. Obviously cosmetic too. They wanted a straight nose. But all they did, and they went from this to this. That's it. It went straight. Now they could breathe in their fucking sleep, and they have a straight nose. And then that's it. That was the only, you know what I mean? That's awesome.
My mom did that.
Yeah, what's that called?
I don't know. I forgot what it was.
I know.
But she did it.
Yeah, my sister did too. She couldn't breathe. She always had sinus infections, snot, this and that. She got it done. Done. She could breathe. No more fucking problems. Only surgery she's ever gotten.
You know, my dad always would dye his hair dark brown, black almost. And he's in his late 60s. And these last few years, me and my brothers are like, Dad,
Just go silver.
dude, what are you doing? You look good as an old man. And he's like, I'm not old. I'm like, fine, you're not old, but let the silver go through.
Yeah.
Show your age. Like, come on. Like, that you look good. He stopped it. He hasn't gone back. After my mom dyed all her hair silver, now he's going silver too.
Nice.
And dude, they look great. I'm like, see, I like seeing old people. Like old people.
It's
I'm like,
awesome.
you lived life. You made it this far.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
My
Fuck
Nana
yeah.
was a fucking leathered, wrinkled prune, dude.
Yes.
And it was awesome. It was awesome.
Let's glorify that,
Yeah.
Craig.
Yeah, get those leather tits out in that world. That's a little weird. That's a little weird.
To say your grandma. Let's get your leather tits out, grandma. Hey, man.
Go get them. Show them boys what it's like.
Hey, grandma.
It always reminds me of There's Something About Memory. Remember that part with the Matt Dillon with the binoculars? He's trying to perv and be a peeping Tom on Mary, but he sees like the old leather lady.
Oh, I forgot that part.
It's the best part of the movie. He's like, oh.
I just remember the ball sack on the zipper thing where they showed.
I need to rewatch that movie.
Oh my gosh. Has that ever happened to you? Get your ball stuck?
I zipped up my penis in Sizzler as a young boy. And I screamed, and then I remember like my mom had to come to the bathroom. Was like, ah. Just unzipped it. Just a little blood. It goes away. Scab up. Heal. Wounds heal. Wounds heal.
Are you for real?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. That's never happened to me. That's why I'm like, ugh.
That was the foreskin.
Okay. You got a lot?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I cut it off.
Good. Oh, you really did?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like later on in life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was just asking. I've never known
Yeah.
anybody. Did the surgery hurt?
Oh, yeah.
You were awake for it?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm. They Novocaine your dick, but it all hurts. It's very painful.
And it scabs up, I'm assuming, right? Or they stitch it up.
Oh, yeah, it's gnarly. I don't it gets graphic.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't care. I'm going to say your wieners are going to hurt if you want me to go in graphic detail.
Please.
They shove a needle in your dick head and 4 shots to numb it like they would your gums, like a dentist. They don't put you under, and the doctor said to me, he's like, whatever you do, don't look. I don't listen, and I looked. And as soon as I looked, because I was like, what's he doing down there? I couldn't feel it. And I just saw blood, and I went like, Gah! And then he's like, I told you not to look. Because then I started just fucking getting squeamish and going like, oh, shit. And then he sews you up, stitches your dick up, and then he cotters it. So you just smell like burning flesh. And he's melting your skin against your skin. And then I drove myself home in a manual stick shift Ford Explorer, V6, with the hard first gears. I remember shifting, and I was just like, oh. And I get home and I just start crying. I was 20, I think. And I just crying and my family's there. And I was like, I just got circumcised. They're just like, what? Like, we're making dinner. You didn't tell us this. And then I had a stitchy dick and boners hurt like you couldn't even imagine. It felt like barbed wire strangling your dickhead. And the doctor told me not to masturbate for some crazy amount of time. He said like 3 months or something.
What?
It was like 60 days. It was a lot. I'm 20. Like, you tell me that now, I was like, I might be able to manage it. I'm 36. The testosterone is thank God it's going away a little bit. That fucking 20-year-old, are you kidding me? That's what we do. And then I would wake up with morning woods and just cry because it was just like this, you know. And then finally, I think I made it like 20 days, no masturbation.
Whoa.
And then, but I was getting boners too much, you know, and the boners were extremely painful because of the stitches. I'm not kidding you. Like, I know I already said it was like barbed wires strangling your dickhead. Every boner you get, you just put cold water, like ice on. Like, no. Like, just like, stop. No, don't go there. And they go shing, and you're like, ah. And then finally, I was like, I have to fucking masturbate, dude. And I squeezed a whole tube of Neosporin in my hand, and I just squeezed it like this. And I remember I popped a stitch and was like bleeding and ejaculating all at once and feeling every human emotion. It's like crying, but it felt good. And to VHS porn, that's how old I am. Put the old VHS in, and it's just like, oh, fucking laugh, crying, coming, all of it, man. It's crazy, dude.
Dude, I fucking love how open you are, and I'm so jealous of comedians. I'm so jealous of
What am I
you.
going to keep that stitchy dick story to myself, bro? The world needs to hear it.
It's such a human story. Do you know what I mean? And I am so jealous and so appreciative of all comedians who are that open and that honest. And thank you, man. Seriously, because I wish I could be that open sometimes.
The old pulsating pumper, you know what I'm talking about? The old That's how you get it done. Ooh, that was a
Do
dark.
we need to take a break? Let's take a break, dude. I need to catch my breath. I need to pee.
Go pee pee.
I need to go pull one out.
I believe it was his directorial debut, and I can't believe you don't know this goddamn movie.
I don't know. I know
with
the
Chaz
movie.
Palminteri or something like that. Anyways, it's a fantastic flick, and I learned a valuable lesson from that. Don't go lighting off Molotov cocktails and be racist. No, that's not. That movie's crazy, dude. But one of the lessons I did learn from it on the real is I believe his name was Sonny. Sonny was the mob boss. And Calogero was chasing down a guy that owed him money. And then Sonny was like, what's that guy owe you? He's like, $10. He's owed me for a month. He keeps dodging me. He goes, do you like that guy? Is he your friend? Do you love him? He goes, no, I fucking hate that guy. He goes, $10, that guy's out of your life forever. He's like, that's a beautiful, cheap price to pay. You never have to deal with him again. And it's just like anybody that owes you shit or whatever, and they're a nuisance to your life, let them have it. And they're bye-bye. They're bye-bye. It's done.
It's very true. I've done that with a couple people now.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's just like, whatever. You deserve that muck.
I know.
You have had it.
You
want me to tell the check?
Oh, no, you don't have to tell that story if
That's
you don't want to.
pretty funny, though.
All right, let's do it.
So where that lesson applied to me in real life is the old drug dealer of mine hit me up. Because I wrote him a check for pills. That's where I was at in my life. Post-dated check. You don't cash it in a week when I get paid. That's crazy that really happened. Anyways, he did not cash the check, and he lost it. And then he hits me up like 5 or 6 years later, and I'm now sober at this point. And he goes, hey, he hit me up Facebook. And he's like, hey, can I get the money for this check I found from years ago? I never cashed it, and I had changed bank accounts because that one went bankrupt, you know. The old B of A is still after me. And anyways, I was like, no. I was like, that's on you, dude. And then he came at me like real aggressive and real nasty. And I hit him with the Bronx Tale lesson. I was like, you know what, dude? I was like, all right, I'll pay you. Don't ever contact me again. And then he ended up hitting me like, I thought we were friends. I was like, bro, you were a drug dealer that sold me drugs that I was addicted to, and now you're trying to cash a check that was written 6 years ago. That is anything but a friend. I hit him with one of those. And then with one of those, like, that's common. Like, that's common. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, I use that every
Anyways,
week.
I paid the man, and I was like, here's your $60. It wasn't even a lot. It was like $40 or $60 or whatever. I was like, don't ever contact me again.
Yeah.
You're cancer.
Man.
And then, never heard from him again. And just pay the piper. Get rid of it.
You've been through life, man.
Hey, sometimes you write checks for narcotics,
You said, how old are you? 36?
I'm 36, yeah.
Awesome. How are the 30s so far? You're midway through now. I'm almost 33, so that's why I'm asking.
Honestly, better than any other decade. The 20s. Whoa. How am I still alive? I don't know. 30s, you kind of... Guys are dumb. We're fucking dumb. It takes a long time for the brain to catch up. Now I understand why ladies should date at least 5 years older than them. Girls date a guy 5 years older than you if you're 18. And then because we're fucking dumb. We're dumb. And you're ahead of us. You're more mature.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them, that's for sure.
I don't know what's wrong with us. We're just like, that roof needs climbing, No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Around 25 is where I really started being, like, really aware.
25 is when males kind of start, if you're lucky, to be like, oh, there's consequences in this life. Oh, boy, I don't know why it takes that long, but it does. It does.
That's so weird that the brain is, like, still working to grow. That's what they say. It doesn't fully develop in males till 25, which is an insane thought.
Yeah.
But we can go to war at 18.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you're not fully developed, but here's this gun. Go murder legally.
What do you think that about, like, tobacco? And I guess marijuana's at 21, so that's not too bad. But drinking should be still 21. I feel like that's the safe. But I can't believe Europe doesn't.
It should
18?
all be 21 or all be 18. There's the fucking stipulation.
Yeah.
You go to war at 18, you should drink a beer at 18. Or 21.
Yeah. I think driving should be 18, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that sucks. I understand you, but like as I remember how bad you want to drive as a kid. We're not ready.
Craig.
Somebody always dies.
I got my permit at 15 and a half in Oklahoma. My permit. That's too young, bro. I was insane at 16. I almost crashed the car. I don't even know how many times.
I know, man. I bought a lemon off my father at 15 so I could drive illegally before I got my license. He ripped me off, that bastard. Anyways, yeah, a lot of bad,
Gotcha.
lot of bad.
Gotcha.
Oh dear God.
Rough childhood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good, bad.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was bad till I grew up. Be like, oh, those are eggshells I've been walking on my entire life.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was love there, and I was taken care of, and it wasn't bad, but it was just, alcoholic papa, old school Mexican mom, that there was no problem,
Yeah.
Everything's normal, everything's fine. Is it? But I still have both of them, and I'm very lucky, and I love them, and they love me, so it was good in that sense. But yeah, after you realize, you're like, oh, that's what healthy families look like.
There's no guidebook, which is
Especially back then.
Yeah, especially back then. There's no internet, no nothing. When you have a kid, can you imagine? Like, I'm imagining having a child right now, which is nowhere near where I'm gonna have a kid. But then I'm like, okay, what do I feed it? What kind of food? How do I raise it? What if it does this? I'm like, oh, I would just go online. I'd go online. Back then, it's like you get a book, but there's just one book or two books. There's no like, people aren't like, yeah, you should do this. There's like a community helping you or telling you these are the right things, wrong things for these reasons. These have been tested. This hasn't been tested. Man, we got lucky we even survived, it feels like sometimes.
Dude, I eat sugar and top ramen, bro. I'm so jealous of all the hippie kids eating all the organic shit. But we didn't even know. You know what I mean? That's where it's fucked up. Like, they come up with all these inventions. Ooh, microwave dinner, ready in seconds. You're like, oh, that's convenient. And then you realize, oh, it's just MSG and genetically engineered this and that. And you're like, oh, that is dog shit. I'm feeding my kids dog food, you know? It's terrible. Now there's more of a consciousness and a movement towards just, can we not have poisons in the food, you know? Back then, there was not even any knowledge. No one knew yellow dye number 5 caused cancer. You know what I mean?
Which is an insane thing to think of. Let's put this chemical,
Yeah.
literally a chemical, that in small amounts won't kill them right away, but it'll keep the food fresh for a little longer because it kills all bacteria that goes on it. Is that really safe?
It's just when profit drives food, you know? They don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
They make more money.
I wish there was a balance. I feel like if the United States was still capitalist, don't get me wrong, I'm not a socialist guy or any communist or whatever, but I feel with any major company, they're like, great, how can we exceed last year's profits? Okay, let's exceed them even more. Let's exceed them. It's like, whoa. When is like, okay, this is good for a while.
How about capitalism with little morals and ethics? Some integrity, you know? Hey, let's make billions of dollars, but let's not kill the consumer. Can we do that? Is that cool? Is that possible?
Oh my gosh.
Capitalism will be like, no.
Or hey,
no, eat that Oreo.
Hey, you made billions of dollars last year. Can you pay maybe just a little bit in taxes?
Can we just get health care? You know, just can I fix my liver? I drank the food and drank the food.
Fuck off, Craig.
I ate the food that you sold me and it fucked me up. Can I at least get health care to fix? No, I need 3 yachts. The first 2 aren't big enough. I got 9 parties in the Hamptons.
That is quite the accent. I like it.
I don't know where I channeled that from. That's how rich people sound. Yeah, dude. I'm sure you've seen the memes floating around, which I hate learning information from memes. But when you hear of Jeff Bezos' wealth, you're like, oh, wait, you can eradicate world hunger and have 50 billion left over? It's like, come on, Batman, go do it. You can't even spend it, man. It's just like a man that gets to that position doesn't really have the world in his heart.
I don't think so. Whenever
so.
he's like, I'm going to put a lot of that towards space travel. I'm like, hey, can we fix Earth first?
Yeah.
Before you...
Have you seen the fires?
Yeah.
Can you go... How about you buy a little water?
Yeah.
Put it over there on the hill.
Can we, like, I don't know, cure cancer? Maybe one cancer. Maybe one cancer before we go to the moon and establish a base there. I feel like that's a little bit more important.
We want to bring cancer to the moon.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
We're going to kill the moon next.
Yeah, we're going to harvest everything out of
the moon. And then Mars. I'm pretty sure Mars is already uninhabitable. We'll make it habitable, and then we'll ruin it. That's what we'll do. We'll make it green, and then we'll pollute it and kill it. That's what we do.
It's insanity,
It's
man.
crazy that Avatar is real, you know? I rewatched Avatar not stoned. I saw it stoned in theaters. And before sober Craig. And then I rewatched it. I was like, oh, wait, this is just an analogy for what we've done to every civilization ever. We just kill the indigenous population and take its resources and ruin it. Avatar.
A few years back, Oklahoma. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was raised most of my life there. And for a while, they were trying to pass legislation to not talk about the Trail of Tears because it put Oklahoma in a bad light.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just going to ignore it like it never happened?
Well, how the Black Lives Matter movement and all this protesting, didn't it shed light on so much shit you had no idea? I had no idea that the Oklahoma City, Tulsa, the bombing and murder of Black Wall Street. I had no
yeah.
idea. Did you learn that ever?
Yeah.
They didn't teach it.
They didn't teach it, but you had to learn it outside of school, which is insane.
Yeah. You're like, oh, so they were thriving and you just bombed and murdered 300, I don't even know how many persons. A lot. Thousands? I don't know.
Literally burned a whole town to the ground.
Yeah. And I remember seeing that in movies growing up. And then I remember seeing it in The Watchmen and learning from The Watchmen on HBO with Regina King. And I was just like, oh, that happened? You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's like, why am I learning this from HBO?
Why is it even an issue? Why is there a debate going on about racism?
Oh, it exists.
Think about that. Why is there a debate to begin with?
You suppress people and their population for 300 plus years. I'm going to fuck up facts. But slavery, and then another 100 years of not even close to equal rights. And then in the 60s, right? That's when supposedly the rights started happening, and then racism was just poof, it's gone. It's not gone. And then on top of that, people of color don't even make the majority of the United States, but yet they make the majority of prisons. Do you have a brain? You're targeting them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and it's systematic oppression and because of racism and systematic racism. But for instance, school education funding. So if you have like a poor neighborhood, that school, public school system gets funded by the neighborhood it's in. So if it's a poor income, it's not going to be funded very well. So the education is not going to be that great. So you're continuously putting out uneducated people who will continue the cycle over and over and over again.
All you have to do is invest in the education system, and it would help so much. And then people say defund the police, which it's a bad name. I'll give it that. That is a bad name. But it's like, no, just take a huge chunk, not even a huge chunk, a small chunk of their huge fucking, whatever they call it. What's that called? Budget. Yeah. And then I was thinking of stimulus. Take a little sliver, put it in the education system, put it in rehab centers, and it will help all of it. You know, we're not saying get rid of the police. You do need police. There's robberies and rapes and murders. You got to have them. But how about let's just take a little bit of that money and put it in the community and help crime from the roots. And then people are just like, no. It's not the best name, though.
I think that's half the problem. Another half of the problem is police reform. For instance, you know how much training they get per year?
Yeah.
Like a supplemental training, like 2 hours a year. Like what? You're supposed to be continuously training if you're in a job.
Yeah.
Like being of service to your community. Like I don't understand why your training stops at a certain point.
And just how about some good old body cams and consequences if you fuck up? Because when you fuck up, somebody dies. And Chris Rock said it best. He's like, I understand there's a few bad apples. That's what everyone keeps saying. But some jobs can't have bad apples. Right. Imagine if there's American Airlines had a few bad apple pilots that just like to suicide bomb in the sides of mountains. You can't have it. You have a gun and people are on the other end of it. There can't be bad apples because people die.
100%, man.
And it's just crazy. And then it's just everything is so extreme left or right. It's like, no, let's just 98% of us are right in the middle. It's like, yes, we need some police. There's crime. But yes, can we take some of the budget and invest it in the people?
Yeah.
To help the people to make less crime? And then when you do that, you need less policing. Everybody wins. And the police officers, I know some cops. Although I've been arrested a bunch and I've had animosity towards cops, I know that there's good cops out there, and they're put in, they too much is put on their plate. They have to solve every problem. Marriage counselors, mental illness, it's just like we need to have different calls for different services.
That's a good idea.
And it's just like that guy's mentally ill. He's not a threat.
But at the same time, there is something that people need to see in terms of how dangerous a police officer's job is. And this is, there's been different videos about this that have shown. So whenever they're telling somebody, hey, can we see your hands? Do you know what I mean? Like they have their back turned. there's been videos where it's an actual criminal and they have a gun and they just turn around and they start shooting. You know what I mean? That's why they have to be so ultra careful during traffic stops and that kind of stuff. During those things, because they don't know who has a gun and who doesn't. That's also from their perspective.
I get that, and I do understand that, and that is a stress and a pressure that I would never want. But also, they signed up for that.
Yes,
they wanted that. They went. So I know it's a dangerous job, and I know you have to be careful. But Jesus Christ, there's a lot of unarmed people getting shot.
No, I'm not making that an excuse for that. I want to be super clear. I'm not making that. Oh, that's why they're getting shot. No, I'm saying that's why there needs to be more training involved constantly, because a lot of these people who end up getting shot and killed, sometimes there's a percentage of it, like a good percentage. I accidentally grabbed my gun instead of my taser. Like, are you an idiot? Like, you shouldn't be a police officer.
Yeah.
Whether it would be from malicious or idiocracy, like, dude, you shouldn't be a police officer.
Also, too, just the most recent one, it's just like 7?
Exactly.
Can you do 1, maybe 2 shoulders?
You guys had four guys on him.
7?
You guys could. That's where you had to shoot him. There's 4 of you. There's 4 of you.
You gotta empty half the clip. How about the good, little? You're right there. You could do shoulder. He doesn't die. He's not crippled. 7 in the spine. Oh my God.
Dude, I don't care if, and I hate reading things. Well, George Floyd was actually a criminal. He was actually putting it. It's like, that's not what we're talking about. He doesn't deserve to be killed by that.
Best. They're like, we didn't choose him. You chose him by kneeling on his throat and killing him. You chose our martyr. You know what I mean? It's like
you put his fucking knee on his neck like that, and you think that's okay? Like, have some where is people's humanity?
I don't know who tweeted this, but they're like, hey, cops, like, even if they're guilty, you're still not supposed to kill them.
Exactly.
Due process, a judge and a jury, and then they pay the time for the crime. You are not judge, jury, and executioner. That's not how it's supposed to be. This isn't the Wild West.
No, man.
I guess it is. I don't fucking know.
I hope things after this election turn better. I really do. And you're laughing at me
Bro,
nervous.
this shit's burning. This shit is it literally is burning right now, but I mean it's burning out of anger. No matter who wins, one side's burning. If red wins, the blue's gonna burn. If blue wins, the red's gonna burn. I already said this, we got a corpse and a turd. We got a piece of shit and a piece of shit. Good luck, America.
Dude, unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is why when stuff like this happens,
everyone says the lesser of two evils, the lesser of two evils. Why is it gotta be the lesser? How about 2 good guys? Hey, have you heard of 2 good guys?
When you get good guys, though, their parties do everything possible to not let them go through because they're not bought out.
Yeah, dude.
You want to know two people? I've never mentioned this on air. Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie Sanders. Tulsi's a Republican. Bernie Sanders, Democrat. I would have loved to see that election.
The one sliver of hope we had, and they just wouldn't let them run.
Did you know both of them are like extremely decent human beings?
Yeah.
Extremely intelligent, who want to work for the common man, who really want to work for the common man. The majority of the people in America, regardless if you're a Republican or a Democrat. They have slightly differing views. Do you know what I mean? Where it's just like, just a little bit this way, just a little bit that way. But as close to the middle as possible. Those are the type of leaders we need in this country.
Yep.
Dude, me and you should run.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'm gonna be emperor someday. That's my dream.
I'll just make your crowds laugh. That's what I'll do. I'll be the jester. I hate even talking about all this.
Jester.
What'd I say?
Gesture.
Oh,
like
yeah,
a gesture.
yeah. It's just I had to talk about it on my podcast. It's like, dude, I want it to be silly and talk about farts, but it's literally the world's on fire. You just it just happens, you know. No comic ever wanted to tackle these topics besides maybe Bill Maher, you know. I never wanted to talk about any of this shit, but it's just, yeah, have
affected us.
to. You have to.
It's affected us so much
I
in our
know.
daily lives. Dude, I remember, I want to go back to the days of making fun of people who ate Tide Pods.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Can we talk about that? You know what? I want to have a little bit of a silly goose time. Tide Pods. What in your... They were literally eating them, right?
Yeah, Tide Pod Challenge. Hey, it's chemicals, kids. If you're going to do chemicals, do the ones that get you high. Don't make you sick, you dumb fucks.
Oh, my gosh.
Go do some heroin, you pussy. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
That's
either
the clip.
of
That's it. Just
No.
Wesam, you got to take it down. Nah,
That was a
Craig,
joke.
you said
That was
it.
a joke. Gesture.
You said it. You said it. Man. I've been, you know what I've been really into, and we're doing it for our show, watching people play scary video games. You like video games?
I haven't played in 20 years.
Okay, never mind then. That's right. You did mention it on the podcast. I remember that.
Yeah. I think Super Nintendo was the last one I had.
Yeah. You missed that boat. Good for you.
I just rather dig in the dirt kind of guy, you know?
What? What does that mean?
Soil.
What does that mean? Wait.
Soil.
What do you mean dig in the dirt versus play video games? How are those connected? What?
I'm just, yeah, go
Oh,
outside.
okay.
Yeah. Just live life.
I thought you meant like digging in the dirt.
I do like digging. I like gardening. And
Okay.
like the mud as a kid. Just rather go outside, and
Yeah.
I'd rather stare at my wall than play video games. I don't know.
Wow. I like gardening too. I actually have a garden as well.
You're right. You can do
But I can
both.
play-
I'm being polarizing.
You're very divisive.
divisive.
We know words so well. me
I
and you.
know. Also, too, it's like I hate that because we fuck up words. It's like I know I'm not a political guy or a scientist guy, but I know what I'm fucking talking about. And the common man just wants the middle just because I said gesture instead of gesture. Did I just say the same word twice? God damn it. But we speak from our heart, and it's just like, hey,
Yeah.
guys, just stop killing unarmed people. Or if you do, you go to jail.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Most
And people are like, blah, 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 blah. You're like, fucking commie. You're like, no, this is rational, reasonable request.
I know. I think most people are good
Yes.
whenever they're face to face with you. Most people want to be good. That's the problem with like the internet and Twitter, all that stuff. People
They
can
only
hide.
highlight the evil.
Well, it's easy to be a dick to somebody when you don't show your face. You don't have to see their reaction, and you can hide and keep sending,
Yeah.
and you get a response, and that gives you a high. Of course, you're going to continue to be a dick.
Yep.
This is why, oh man, maybe kids shouldn't have Twitter or Instagram accounts till they're 18 too.
I agree with that, but good luck enforcing that.
Right. It makes sense,
It does.
in theory, but I don't think that's possible.
And how many of these poor bastard kids just, thank God I didn't have that. But you imagine like the school's already tough enough with going through puberty and popularity and hanging out and this and that. Imagine adding social media to that, and likes and no likes, and being made fun of publicly. I'm sure the suicide rate has jumped up since that.
Oh my God, I don't even know how. It was National Suicide Day yesterday? No,
Was
the day
it?
before?
Jesus. I know it's getting a little dark, but that social media ain't helping shit.
No.
Ooh.
No, man.
Ooh.
We used to write notes. I forgot that. Notes and pass
Yeah,
notes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before texting. You gotta pass the wire, little puppet. That's prison lingo.
Oh, yeah?
You kids probably don't get it.
Pass the wire. Dude,
The kite. Pass the kite.
I love watching prison documentaries. So interesting to me how they get stuff in there, and their hierarchy, and how the real shot callers, that's what they're
Yeah.
called, they're in solitary, right? They're not even in the general population usually.
No.
Correct?
It's crazy.
How they're even able to get their orders out.
Yeah. They could run shit on the street from solitary confinement in prison. La M, the Mexican mafia.
Yeah.
That's how they gain their power. They're like, we'll control the prisons. Because everyone, if you're a criminal, you're going to come in here. And if we control this, we could control the streets.
Ooh.
You never seen this fucking the American Me and blood in, blood out, and all that.
I've seen some of them, but this is always interesting to me.
Yeah.
So that's so crazy, dude. It's scary.
Yeah.
Scary, dude. Have you ever been a part of that or?
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I've had cousins that have been in and out of prison and
Yeah.
told me stories and stuff. And we're in the gang life for a little while. They're retired now, some of them. Anyways, yes. So it's fascinating. It's dark. It's scary. It's all that shit.
Yeah, man. I remember my first day in Los Angeles. I had driven from Oklahoma, and I stopped off to get a gyro because my roommate hadn't come home yet, because that's where I was going to sleep on the couch with. Not with him on the couch, but, stay with him. And I was talking with my mom on the phone, and then she heard some sirens outside. And I heard the sirens because I was there, and so I walk outside. She's like, "What's going on?" And I'm not exaggerating. It's like two cholo-looking Mexican gangster dudes are being arrested. There had to be at least 20 cops. There's a helicopter circling, cop cars, and they're being arrested literally right across the street. And I'm watching this on the phone with my mom, and I'm like, "Mom, nothing's going on. Nothing. It's all good, Mom. I got to go, all right? Love you, bye." And I'm like, holy shit, I'm not even in here for like 10 minutes in Los Angeles, and this is happening. I was like, whoa.
What'd they do? They're innocent. Fucking coppers. It's a setup. This is a setup.
I've never seen that many cops before arresting two dudes ever. It was really intense.
Yeah.
Scary for somebody from Oklahoma just showing up to LA, and that's the first thing you see.
Welcome to Los Angeles. Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah. They had that crazy shootout in North Hollywood years ago.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Intense, dude.
It's crazy, yeah. That one was on film. They caught that one. That was crazy.
Dudes in full body armor.
Yeah.
Just shoot out with it. Like, what is this? Is this a movie? No. Because of that incident, they actually changed a lot of their regulations and stuff. And I don't know. Insane times. Dude.
It was the bank robbery capital of the world for a minute, Los Angeles.
What?
I think it was. There was an era, yeah.
Wow.
It cracked down, but a lot of freeways, a lot of banks.
Crazy times. Do you have any more live shows that we can plug for people?
I have 2 tonight. Probably not going to come out in time, but just look me up on Instagram, Craig P. Conant, Craig Conant. I'm on all social medias. I post all my stuff. If you like farts, drugs, and sobriety, I'm your guy.
And you have an awesome podcast, Community Service.
Community Service Podcast. I always forget to plug that. Check out my podcast, Community Service Podcast, with Craig Conant. That's me. Yeah.
I went back to the Michael Lenoci episode.
Nice.
I like his podcast too. I've been listening to a lot. Hey, first of all, I'm going to try to get him on the show as well because I just love his podcast. His intro song, it goes so hard.
I don't even know if I know it.
Have you heard it? Can we play it?
Sure.
Can we play it? Is that okay?
Sure.
Oh, dude. Every time I'm like...
As soon as you play, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I've heard it.
He seems like a fun guy to be around, too.
Yeah, he's a big dummy.
Yeah.
He's a big dumb. He's one of my best buds, dude. We just laugh and do stupid shit.
Are him and Brett Morin the same person or no?
No.
I'm kidding. Can you imagine? That's how I introduce him when he's on the show. Brett Morin?
People are like, wow, I don't want to do this anymore.
No, I'm kidding. A Takeover. That's what it's called, the Takeover podcast. Takeover?
Yep.
I'm subscribed. Why isn't it showing up? Oh, there it is. You ready for this?
Yes.
The Takeover. The Takeover.
Did we start? Yeah, we did.
Wow, who made that for him?
That's how I said it.
Takeover.
There's a lot of things we're going to get into.
That's nice.
It goes hard.
Damn, that's awesome. I bet you a fan made it for him. A fan made mine too, and it's just so cool. I was praying for me. This is crazy. This is some hippie shit. Manifestation, baby.
Yeah.
I was praying for music for my podcast.
Yeah.
And then a dude, Greg Saminato, just emailed me like 5 songs for my podcast that he made for my podcast. And I was like, I was just praying for these. And then they showed up.
Wow.
And I used 2 of them, the intro and the outro.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's
That's the way it works, man.
weird, dude.
It's because you're a good guy.
Well,
Craig.
thank you, bud. I
Trying to get
appreciate
your
it.
life straight. You're having a positive perspective, realistic but positive, and so you're seeing opportunity in everything, even when the negative happens.
Yeah. Every horrible, negative, dark day in my life has led to a better way. Literally, the arrest led to me getting sober and then the stand up, and you have to learn from this shit, or you're gonna fucking die. And it's just like, nobody's perfect, so don't be so judgmental on motherfuckers and just like, oh, you fucked up. All right, well now I'm not gonna fuck up. I'm going to do better. And nobody's perfect, so we just do the best with what we can when we can.
And I really mean that with the comedians like that I listen to. I really do appreciate you guys because it's such an underrated. And I know it's weird hearing people compliment you guys. I know because it happens to me because I'm so awesome too. And you're like, all right, guys, come on. But it's really underappreciated. And you guys need to hear it sometimes. Like what you guys do really brings so much joy into people's hearts, man. Seriously. And especially when you're doing the live shows, dude, it's just so, for the common person, they enjoy it, they laugh their asses off, and for people who are kind of in the industry, they get to really appreciate the craft of it. And that's something I love. I love watching craftsmen at their work and seeing the little, like, oh, dude, did you see what he did there? That little nuanced thing where he just let it hang a little bit. Did you see the way he did that crowd work? Like, you couldn't have planned for something like that. That just comes from years of experience and being solely in the moment, experiencing life in what it exists, which is just the moment. There is no future, there is no present, it's just there. And watching really good stand-up people like yourself do that in the moment, man, it's a magical experience.
Well, thank you, brother. Yeah, you couldn't have said it better. And sometimes we do need to be reminded because we get so in our heads that, like, we are doing good deeds. We're making people laugh and forget about their shit at our cost through our embarrassing stories or whatever your act is. But when you put yourself in check and you say to yourself, oh, wow, I'm doing what I love. I'm creating. I'm being of service. I'm making people laugh. I'm not a fucking warmonger causing, I'm not a GMO, whatever. What I'm saying is we're doing a good deed and we're not being a piece of shit on this earth.
Right.
We're not, we're doing good and not bad. And that at the end of the day is a victory.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Yeah. You nailed, I like to say, you don't make people people are forgetting about their problems. I want to rephrase that. You give people life boosts. Do you know what I mean? That little boost to get through life.
Yeah. You could take them out of their bullshit, their problems, or you could make fun of and tell a story where your life was so bad that they go, whoa, I thought my life was bad. I didn't go through that. And you could put it in perspective that way.
Exactly.
Exactly. And it's awesome. I love it. And my goal always, because I was a fucking knucklehead just in the dark depths of hell with no hope, and with drugs and alcohol and all that bullshit, my goal was like, hey, knucklehead motherfuckers, you can get out of that. Because when I was in it, you never think you can get out. But you can. You could get out of that shit.
Absolutely, dude.
It's just crazy. And don't do too many drugs.
Craig, thank you, brother, for coming on. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
And I hope you come on sometime again in the future. Whatever special you want to plug, you are a welcome guest in this house.
Thank you, brother.
Man.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, and Community Service Pod, Craig Conant, all on social media. Make sure you check them out. Peyton, let's play us out. Thank you, Adobe Radio. Thank you, Nice Guy Digital. Thank you, Peyton.
2-minute warning.
Thank you, Peyton, for all your hard work on the show, man. Thank you, Alexandra Gorski, for all the social media work you do for the show. Thank you to our fans, our new listeners. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure that you hit us up on either Spotify or iTunes. Leave a review. It helps us out tremendously. And we're on Instagram at Wesam's World. Really appreciate you guys. Always remember to listen, think, and then talk. Bye.